Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. With this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce GTX 1650 4GB GDDR5 in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Beta. This one is the Gigabyte Mini ITX OC model of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Up's GPU Z, and over on the left, I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 5 3600X and 16GB of DDR4 3200MHz RAM in dual channel. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's go over the settings first. I am starting at 1080p resolution using the minimum settings preset with 100% resolution scale, so it's native res, using Fidelity FX CAS to sharpen up that image. Otherwise, it's a little bit soft, you know, at 69% sharpness, by the way. Nice. And variable rate shading is also enabled there. This impacts the quality just slightly, and it gives you a little bit higher FPS as well. Everything else is set to the preset here. Oh yeah, and I'm also utilizing 105 FOV with depth of fields and so on turned off. Not that it will impact performance a lot, but yeah, now you know. Let's do this, my friend. We're getting 70 FPS average at the start here. It's not too bad, is it? On a GTX 1650, dropping down into the 50s sometimes. I mean, it's what you should expect at this point, coming from a GPU this old and this slow, actually. In newer titles, it usually performs a little bit worse than this. For example, in Black Myth Wukong, it was a complete terrible mess. Anyway, this map is not the least intensive one, but it's not the most intensive one either, guys. So you can expect a little bit lower FPS, like 10 lower frames per second on average. In the other map, which is more intensive, the one with the vegetation, I don't remember the name of it. But yeah, it can get a little bit more intensive, or quite a bit less intensive as well if you go to the map with the shop or the restaurant, whatever it is. Yeah, there's one map where FPS increase like crazy, okay? Am I playing against noobs here? Probably, right? Because I am a noob myself, okay? Anyway, this is probably not what you want coming from a Call of Duty title, because you probably want 60 plus FPS all of the time, if not like 100 plus FPS all of the time for that buttery smooth, responsive experience as well. But this is not a bad experience here either with the GTX 1650. I would say it's pretty decent, right? It's not the best optimized title. It doesn't have the greatest visuals in 2024. Far from it, actually. It's quite dated in that regard in some ways. But it works, and it makes it so it's playable on stuff like the GTX 1650, even the GDDR5 model that I'm using right here. If you have the GDDR6, expect like 5 more frames per second, by the way. Alright, there we go, got that one. And, come on, got that one as well. A little bit of a slowdown, I could feel it. Nothing that I can't really manage, but again, if you really want to be competitive in this title and super sweaty, like a lot of people are, you will need more FPS than these. This will affect your reaction times and your muscle memory for the aim snapping, you know, and the flicks and stuff. I'm gonna stop it right there, guys. Let's try it with some upscaling, because I think that way we might be capable of achieving very good FPS, alright? So I'm gonna utilize FSR 3.0. We got that available here on the 1650. I'm gonna use it on quality and no frame generation, because frame generation increases input lag like crazy, and that's definitely not what you want in a fast shooter like this one. Let's start counting the FPS now. It seems like we gained about 10 frames per second, maybe even a little bit lower than that. Guys, I thought it was going to be a bigger difference here. Maybe with FSR 1.0 it would be a bigger difference, because that's a little bit less intensive than FSR 3.0. But it's good to see as well, like a couple of FSR versions in this game is great for those old GPUs at the same time, like GTX 950s, 960s and so on, that won't play very well with FSR 2. They can play very well here with FSR 1 instead. Of course, that delivers a worse image quality. Oh, what the hell? But it's great, guys. It's great to have options, basically. Alright, we got a UAV going on right now, but I can't really see it because the FPS are in front of the map. I forgot to change its position to the other part of the screen. Oh boy, oh boy. There we go, there we go. Triple kill, good stuff. Finally doing something useful for my team, I guess. Maybe not. I'm not conquering any objectives, but yeah, I'm killing them. That's good. And I'm preventing them for conquering my objectives. Yes, that's it. That's what we're doing here. Also, some of the textures here on very low are pretty low quality, as expected. Another grenade, goddammit. But hey, with a 4 GB GPU, you want to keep those textures set to very low so you don't experience any slowdowns. And to be honest, like most of the picture, especially far away, it still doesn't look terrible in terms of texture quality. So there's that. Oh god. Alright, let's see. Refill ammo here. Ooh, diving people. Okay, of course, that's a big thing in this game. Look at that one as well. Both of them were divers. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. They're right here. I got 4 bullets. I gotta reload. Alright, the extended mag is giving me confidence that I shouldn't have. Now, FSR2 does look a little bit shimmery at distance, especially in trees and stuff like that, but the visibility of the game is still good enough for sure. I would have no problems utilizing it, and I actually do recommend it with the GTX 1650. It doesn't get you a ton of more FPS, it's not a completely different experience, unfortunately, with FSR, but it works. But what? How am I the best play? I didn't do anything. Seriously? Okay, I got one here. I got another one there. It was a triple kill from before. Okay. Nobody else did anything better than this. Oh, by the way, this is the map that I was telling you about. It's way less intensive. So, yeah, I guess we can try that out for a little bit. Oh, interesting, guys. So, I was checking out an RTX 3060 earlier today in this game. And a video on it will come soon, okay? But I was seeing like 20 or 30 more FPS in this map compared to the previous one. And now, with the GTX 1650, it's not as big of a boost, although it is above 60 FPS consistently, not dropping into the 50s anymore. I guess the previous one dropped into the 50s more often when we were near that pool area, right? Because the water is still extremely intensive in this tide. What the heck are you doing, guys? Oh, boy. I don't know where to go. Oh, we need to kill that one. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, the water is very, very intensive in Call of Duty. It's actually been the same thing for years at this point. Other versions of this game, like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, also got wrecked when you got near water in terms of performance. So it's not great, really. Oh boy. Oh boy, okay, there's the other guy that we need to kill, and they need to kill me, by the way. Oh boy, no, that was terrible. Anyway, 60s to 70 most of the time. Input lag is good because we're not using frame generation, but it could be better, obviously. With a higher refresh rate experience comes less input lag. That's why people want 150 FPS, 200 FPS, and so on. It's just, it's a snappier experience. Gosh. I'm sucking a little bit here, guys. Maybe because we got the best play, now the game puts us against people that actually know how to play the game. Also, 1% lows are a bit too low there, but I noticed that when we die, the transition drops our FPS by a little bit, so it's not really what you get during gameplay, as you could see there. It dropped into the 50s, but now we're back up into the 60s. So yeah, it's a little bit less intensive than the previous map, basically, like 5 more FPS on average or so. And now let's do it with FSR 1.0 instead. And with FSR 1.0 on ultra quality, I'm going to try that out first. With some friends on screen, we're getting 80 FPS. So that's quite a big improvement, although it looks a lot worse right now. Ooh, explosions and stuff, beautiful. All right, well, not really that beautiful because we're on lowest settings now with FSR 1.0. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how much worse FSR 1 is in terms of visual quality and that aliasing and so on and softness. Compared to FSR2 running at a lower resolution, because FSR2 was on quality. That means that it was running 720p resolution and being upscaled to 1080p, or in the case of FSR 1.0, we can't really call it upscaling. I guess it's just sharpening. And here with ultra quality FSR, it's a little bit higher. I got the guy there, but couldn't finish the job, unfortunately. But yeah, the performance is a bit higher, and the resolution is also a bit higher, but it also looks worse, because the upscaling part of it is just way worse, okay? And also, maybe I said FSR 2, but FSR 3.0 and FSR 2 is basically the same thing, okay? But anyway, if you're looking for that little bit of an extra boost in performance, FSR 1 will give you that over FSR 2. It's a decent way to play the game here, and you more likely than not have a 1080p monitor with a GTX 1650, so it makes sense utilizing the upscaling options instead of lowering the resolution down to like 720p, for example. That's why I'm not testing the actual lower resolution of 720p in this video. Let's stop it there. I'm gonna try NIS, which usually looks better than FSR 1.0, especially in Call of Duty titles, and it also has an ultra quality preset here. So I'm going to set the sharpness to 69. It's good that we can manually adjust that. I like that adjustability. Oh boy, 69% is way too much sharpening. Okay, let's go to the 30% mark, which is the default. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Oi! Okay, got the guy. Start counting our FPS. See, it's getting around the same, if not slightly higher frames than FSR 1.0 on ultra quality. It's not as soft as FSR 1.0 on ultra quality, and I would say it might actually look a little bit better now. God damn it, Black Jesus! I would say it looks a little bit better right now than FSR 2.0, because the vegetation, for example, at the distance is not a shimmery mess, right? Like it was with FSR 2. Or FSR 3 in this game, okay? Which is the same thing if you don't use frame generation, once again. But yeah, now you don't have shimmery edges everywhere, like in FSR 1 or 2 or 3, whatever you want to call it. And you also get a little bit of sharper image quality without much artifacting. This is great, actually. I think these are the best settings for a GTX 1650 at 1080p resolution. And 1,000 years later, we're here. Finally, I got into a lobby that's running this map over here. Oh, okay, that's not bad. Seems like it's getting similar FPS right now. Okay, 70s. That's awesome, guys, because at least last weekend, this map was way more intensive than the other one. But maybe because we're playing on the lowest settings, or minimum settings preset, it ends up being not as intensive. I don't know. Oh boy. Oh boy. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Okay, grenade. I don't care. Let's go. Get him. Get him, grenade. Come on. There we go. I did it. See that? HVT kill. That's awesome. Good stuff. Oh boy, stop shooting at me from the sides and from behind, please. I don't like it. Okay. Also, the 1% lows are already in the 50s, but I guess that's because when we die, once again, it tends to drop a little bit more. Okay, where's the guy? There he is. Come on, we can get him. There we go, boy. Good job, good job. Oi, wait, flying bastard. Oh my god. Jesus, he looked like a rocket coming at me. Holy crap. Guy there. Okay, got him, good stuff. The AK packs quite a bit of a punch as well. First time that I played with it, I wrecked the entire lobby. But now, I'm not doing that. Because I'm just giving them a chance by playing with the GTX 1650. That's what happens here, okay? I'm lowering my MMR by playing with this GPU. So in the next video, when I play with like a 4080 Super, I'll have the best gameplay you'll ever see in Call of Duty. That's what's gonna happen. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. All right, reload. Good. Let's go. Back here. Back out. It's quite good, right? I'm gonna stop it there, though. This is more than halfway through already, and I'm gonna try NIS on, like, quality instead, or should we do, like, balanced? I'm gonna do balanced to try and target that slightly higher refresh rate experience, okay? Interesting. On balanced, it starts looking like FSR 1.0 ultra quality. Maybe a little bit worse, actually, at this point. But this is a much lower resolution scale here. And the sharpening can't really do much to make it good visual quality looking, all right? Yeah. Come on. There's one guy over there still. Where's the bastard? I don't know. Oh, there's one jumping around. Hello. Okay. Also, I'm using a very big 4K monitor here for this video, and that's probably why it's looking a little bit crappy right now to me, or crappier than it should look, because if you utilize like a 22-inch, 21.5-inch 1080p monitor, I bet balanced NIS will still look pretty damn good. Although, we only gained about like 10 frames per second, 10 to 15, so it's not going to change your experience completely, and it's not going to give you that high refresh rate experience that you might be looking for. I guess for that, if you want to stick to 1080p or 1080p with upscaling, you'll need to upgrade to something a little bit better. But I'm impressed with the little 1650 here. It's still capable of playing the latest Call of Duty title just fine. Also expect the RX 580 coming this weekend as well. We definitely can bring that into this channel now, and stay tuned in for it. I'm curious to see if the older AMD cards will still be optimized here in this title. Or if they just forgot to optimize for them, like usual. Alright, 32 to 14. Eliminations, not kills, okay? But yeah, that's quite good, right? Thanks very much for watching. That's been it for this one. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.